If you are thinking about moving to Charlottesville or anywhere in the Central Virginia area, this video is your ultimate relocation guide. We're going to cover everything you need to know: housing, schools, cost of living, best neighborhoods, and even how welcoming this area really is. I've grown up here, raised my family here, and I'm not here to sell you some polished Chamber of Commerce version of Charlottesville. I'm here to give you the real scoop, the good, the bad, the ugly, and the beautiful. So grab your Red Bull or maybe a nice Merlot, settle in, and let's dive in. Most people who are moving here actually say, I want to live in Charlottesville. And then I have to tell them, most people actually don't live in Charlottesville. They actually live in the counties around Charlottesville, like Albemarle, Greene, Fluvanna, Louisa, or Nelson. That's where you'll find the variety of homes, newer homes, bigger yards, and honestly, a lot better value for your money. Charlottesville City itself, gorgeous, walkable, great food, great art scene, and hello, you can't get more historic and full of history. But it's going to be older homes, tighter lots, and honestly, prices that make your eyebrows go, whoa. So if you're dreaming of a screened porch, maybe a half an acre, or even a little mountain view, you'll likely be looking just outside of the city. But again, no big deal. Charlottesville is less than 10 square miles in size. So you may very well have a Charlottesville zip code because the entire area is considered Charlottesville. I grew up right here, and my family has lived in Albemarle, Greene, and Fluvanna, plus many other places across the state. Trust me, you get used to the short drive into town, and you'll love the mix of small town peace with the big town conveniences. And by the way, if you're wondering which area fits you best, that's why you need to reach out to me. I have seen every nook and cranny of these counties, and I can actually help you narrow it down really fast after we talk and chat and see what it is you're moving to Charlottesville for. Now let's talk about the cost of living, because honestly, that's one of the first questions I often get. Overall, Charlottesville is going to be a little bit above the average for Virginia, and that is mostly because of housing. When you look at numbers, the Charlottesville area runs just under 10% above the national average. Now, the great news is groceries, healthcare, and utilities, well, they're pretty average, but home prices, and taxes can vary a lot depending on where you land. So Charlottesville City and Albemarle County are going to be the most expensive. Now, if you move just, 15 to 30 minutes outside, places like Greene, Fluvanna, or Louisa, the prices can honestly drop dramatically. You'll still have a Target, but you may not have 3 Starbucks on the same corner. For context, as of late 2025, the median home price in Charlottesville City is hovering around the mid to upper $500,000 range. In Fluvanna or Louisa, you can actually still find a really nice single family home in the $300,000 and $400,000 range. And no, we don't really do tiny homes here. County ordinances just don't allow them. Some counties do, but that's just one more reason you need to call me first, so you don't get your heart set on moving someplace that won't allow you to live the lifestyle that you want. But if you want a historic farmhouse, say a low maintenance condo or a brand new townhouse, you will have plenty of options pretty much everywhere. And speaking of homes, let's talk about what kind of housing that you'll actually find in and around the area, because that can be very, very important, and that may limit where or what you're thinking about. So I just jumped in my car, but as promised, wanted to talk about the housing market and what you can get, what you will see, that kind of thing. So Charlottesville's housing market is still competitive, but it is not as wild as it was during the pandemic. We are still seeing multiple offers, and if houses are priced correctly and move-in ready, we are still seeing multiple offers. That is not even an issue. Now, the best times to buy, honestly, usually going to be late fall through early spring. Why is that? Well, that's when there is less competition, there is more negotiation room, and honestly, sellers are a bit more flexible. Look, you know this. People have to buy and sell homes year-round. You don't want to necessarily get into the spring market fray. Now, many people don't have a choice. Oftentimes what we see is over the holidays that folks decide that, you know what, next year we need to go ahead and get our action plan and move. And they have to look in the spring market. And that's the same reason people sell in the spring market, because, well, as soon as school wraps up, we have to be ready to rock and roll and move out of the area, or move to a smaller, or move to a bigger house. So the spring market can be very, very chaotic. We've got everything. We've got historic downtown homes built in the 1800s, all the way to modern townhomes with mountain views, to large acreage estates that you could have horses, or if you want to try your hand with a vineyard, we have vineyards for sale. And one thing people love is actually the variety. You can live 3 miles apart and have completely different lifestyles. I actually have clients who wanted a 10-acre mini farm, as they put it. They ended up neighbors with a well-established vineyard. Another couple wanted to walk to coffee shops, and they found a great townhouse near Barracks Road. So whether you are buying your first home, relocating for retirement, or honestly, if you're just moving within the Charlottesville area and you want to change, maybe downsizing, maybe upsizing, reach out and let's chat. This is why having someone who knows the area inside and out can make all the difference. Not only that, but quite often I will hear and know about things in very sought after neighborhoods that have not even come to market. They're getting ready to. So for you, that is a great advantage. Oh, and don't forget, grab my free relocation guide. Simply scan on the screen now this QR code, and my free relocation guide is all yours. It has links for home searches. It has community highlights. It has an interactive map to help you visualize everything that I'm talking about and seeing. And by the way, if you've already started looking, tell me in the comments below, where are you focusing? I honestly love hearing what drives people to different parts of the area, whether it's walkability, whether it's the hottest, newest neighborhood, whether it's a school system, whatever it is. There is a house for everyone. Now, as you will hear me say time and time again, Charlottesville is not going to be for everyone. You may want to live here, you may have your heart set on living here, but it is not going to be the perfect fit for everyone. And again, this is why I do these videos, because I want you to see as much as you can so that you know before you get here, before you even reach out. I mean, please always feel free to reach out. Text, call, email, you know how to get hold of me. All right, well, let's talk about the next most often asked about thing, and that is actually talking about the schools and the quality of education. Okay, so if you've got kids, the next biggest thing we need to talk about is going to be the schools and education. That is going to be a big one. Honestly, it's not even just kids because, well, anyways, Charlottesville area has excellent schools overall, both public, private, and honestly, higher education. Albemarle County in particular is known for strong academics, great arts programs, and really awesome sports programs. Greene and Fluvanna have smaller systems, great for families who actually want that smaller, closer knit feeling. But then you've got even more. The University of Virginia, of course, brings a ton of resources and culture to the area. And even if you don't have kids, good schools mean stronger property values. Also, prime example behind me, I am actually in front of the Piedmont, Virginia Community College campus. Now, why is this a big deal? Well, for one, it is an amazing community college. But it's also totally involved with and connected with many of the school systems and with homeschooling. So my personal experience, goodness knows, that's been years ago. I had moved back to the area and I was getting ready to graduate with my 4-year bachelor's degree. But I was missing like English 101, right? So I actually, while I was doing my internship here in the area, I actually did take classes here at Piedmont so I could finish my degree. My daughter, so again, speaking from experience, my daughter actually attended PVCC as a homeschooler, and then she was enrolled in the academic portion for the degree, for an associate's degree. So by the time she actually, I guess she was right at about 16, she graduated from PVCC with her associates, with honors, yada, yada, yada. And I can tell you right now, it was a lot cheaper than any of these 4-year schools, no matter where you are. And you know what, here's the other thing, they have such amazing professors and teachers here and staff, support staff. Added to that, another program that PVCC does, so it's not just, say, from homeschoolers, so as long as you still have to pass all the same tests. You have to pass an English entrance and a math entrance. But it goes from those who are homeschooling, so younger, all the way up to adult classes, say for somebody who has been laid off from a position and wants to go back and seek additional education for their next chapter, their next job. PVCC is financially, cannot say it is any more fabulous than it is, because it really, really is. So again, just part of that whole system, that academic excellence is really standard here. But I will get, now that we're back to kids, one thing I want you to note is school boundaries, the public school boundaries will shift sometimes, and especially in fast growing areas. And I'm talking about places like Crozet and northern Albemarle. So if you have your heart set on a specific district, we will double check that before you buy. Because here's the other thing I want to remind you. Virginia is a buyer beware state. Pam, what does that mean? It means that the selling agent or the builder can be like, the streets are paved in gold, and we have high-speed internet, and this and that and the other. But the fact is if something is very important to you, such as high-speed internet, it is actually my job representing you to make sure that that is actually the truth. Buyer beware. This is why I will not and do not do what's something called dual agency. So in other words, if I am representing the seller, I will never also represent the buyer. I will never represent both parties in one transaction because to me, ethically, you just can't do that. You either have to have all your skin in the game for the buyer or all your skin in the game for the seller. So Virginia is a buyer beware state, but that's just a tidbit added on. All right, let's see what's next. Okay, so now one of my favorite questions is honestly when people ask, is Charlottesville welcoming? Is it safe for everybody? Short answer is yes. Hands down, unequivocally, yes. The longer answer, Charlottesville is diverse, educated, and generally very open-minded. We've got families of every configuration. We have retirees, professionals, artists, and a strong LGBTQ plus community. You'll meet people from all political and cultural backgrounds here, and most of them generally love good conversation, whether it's over a local beer or a local wine or maybe over some fabulous fried chicken. We're not perfect. No place is. But you'll find that this area honestly values community and connection much more than labels. Look, I have helped folks relocate from New York, New Jersey, Texas, Florida, California, and every single one has told me how surprised they were by how kind and welcoming the people are here. And speaking of community, let's talk about what life feels like when you actually move here. So Charlottesville's lifestyle is honestly all about the balance. You've got hiking, wineries, breweries, live music, college sports, all within 20 minutes. Want to hit the mountains? Blue Ridge Parkway is right here. Prefer the coast? You can be in Virginia Beach in about 3 hours. Just maybe not on a Friday afternoon in the summer. Trust me on that one. People here value outdoor living. Porches, gardens, local food, and community events. You'll also find a surprisingly big arts scene, thanks to the University of Virginia and all the local galleries, music venues, and festivals. Actually, I'm going to turn you around because I'm walking the downtown mall and there's one of that's the Ting Pavilion. And that is where a lot of festivals happen. And music. If you're someone who likes that mix of small town charm and modern amenities, honestly, this is where Charlottesville really shines. Make sure you hit subscribe for more Charlottesville tips and hit that bell so that you don't miss when I release something new. I do post every week and you never know, it might be something of interest to you. All right, gotta go shopping. So let's tackle a few quick questions. I get these all the time. Question, Do you handle rentals? No, I don't do rentals, but you don't need me to. I am happy to point you towards some great property managers if that's what you need and you need a short term before we look for the house that you're going to buy and relocate to. How is the traffic? Manageable. Rush hour is short and the worst backups are near 29 North and Pantops. Seriously, you'll survive. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. What's the vibe? City or county? Both. You can live in walkable downtown Charlottesville, or you can live on 20 acres with chickens or alpacas. And if you're relocating for work, especially with UVA, say a position at the hospital or one of the many tech companies, or if you're being transferred to Rivanna Station, reach out before you come for your interviews. I will help you plan on what to see while you're in town so you can make the most of your visit. So there you have it, your ultimate Charlottesville relocation guide. We covered housing, we covered schools, cost of living, community, and what daily life here really looks like. If you're planning to move, relocate, retire, or honestly you just want a change of scenery within the area, reach out to me. I'm a local realtor who has grown up here, raised my family here, and I know this area like the back of my hand. And it is not my job to sell you on anything, honestly. If nothing else, no, I am going to be honest and straightforward. This area may not be a good fit for you, and I understand that. Call, text, or email me anytime. And don't forget, download the free relocation guide. Just scan this QR code right here, and easy peasy, it is yours, lemon squeezy. Just easily scan the QR code. It is packed with everything you need to explore Charlottesville like a local, buy a local from a local. So if you found this helpful, I would also really love for you to hit that like button, subscribe, and tap the bell so you don't miss my next video. And check out my other videos on living in Charlottesville. I have got deep dives into neighborhoods, affordability, and honestly, hidden gems you do not want to miss. Drop your questions and feedback in the comments below. I always love hearing what is on your mind. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, I'm Pam, helping you find the right place here in Charlottesville. And until next time, I will see you again soon. I hope you have an amazing day, and I look forward to seeing you. Bye.